Which was 10.
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
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 जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा विहारी
यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन
यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन
यमुनतीरावनचारी
यमुनतीरावनचारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
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 जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की इस्कॉन गुरु वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की गौर प्रेमानंद all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gaurang, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Nashtraprayesu abhadresu.
Nashtraprayesu abhadresu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Samambonam, Chapter 73, Lord Krishna blesses the liberated kings. Text 10. Please repeat. Rajaishwarya Mandondo
Rajeshwarya Madonando.
Nasheyo Vindate Grapa
Nasheyo Vindate Grapa.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Manyate Sampado Chala
Manyate Sampado Chala.
Rajaishwarya Mandondo
Rajeshwarya Madonando.
Nashteyo Vindate Nrapa
Nasheyo Vindate Grapa.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Manyate Sampado Chala
Manyate Sampado Chala.
Rajaishwarya Mandondo
Rajeshwarya Madonando.
Nashdeyo Vindate Grapa
Nasheyo Vindate Grapa.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Manyate Sampado Chala
Manyate Sampado Chala.
Rajeshwarya Madonatho.
Rajeshwarya Madonando.
Shreyo Vindate Nirpaha.
Rajeshwarya Vindate Grapa.
Maya Mohito Nitya.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Manyate Sampatho Chala.
Manyate Sampado Chala.
Rajeshwarya Madonado.
Rajeshwarya Madonando.
Shreyo Vindate Nirpaha.
Nasheyo Vindate Nirpa.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Manyate Sampado Chalaha.
Manyate Sampado Chala. Rajeshwarya Madonando. Nasheyo Vindate Nirpa. Vanmaya Mohito Nitya. Manyate Sampado Chala.
Rajeshwarya Madonado.
Rajeshwarya Madonando.
Shreyo Vindate Nirpa.
Nasheyo Vindate Nirpa.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya.
Manyate Sampado Chalo.
Manyate Sampado Chala.
Rajeshwarya Madonado
Rajeshwarya Madonando.
Nasheyo Vindate Nrpa
Nasheyo Vindate Nirpa.
Vanmaya Mohito Nitya
Vanmaya Mohito nitya.
Manyate sampado chalaha.
Manyate sampado chalaha.
Mataji.
Radeshwarya Madhurnato. Nasreyo vindate nrpa. Maya mohito nitya. Manyate sampado chalaha. Radeshwarya Madhurnato. Nasreyo vindate nrpa. Maya mohito nitya. Manyate sampado chalaha. Radeshwarya Madhurnato. Nasreyo vindate nrpa. Maya mohito nitya. Manyate sampado chalaha. Radeshwarya Madhurnato. Nasreyo vindate nrpa. Maya mohito nitya. Manyate sampado chalaha.
Word to word translation. Please repeat. Rajya.
Raja.
With sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Aishwarya.
Aishwarya.
And opulence.
Opulence.
Madha. By the intoxication. Unnatha. Becoming unrestrained.
Becoming unrestrained.
Na. Does not. Shreya. Real benefit. Vindate. Obtain. Nrpa. A king. Tvat. Your Maya. By the potency of illusion. Mohita. Deluded. Anitya. Temporary. Manyate. He thinks. Sampada. Assets. Achala. Permanent. Translation and purport by the followers of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Infatuated with his opulence and ruling power, a king loses all self-restraint and cannot obtain his true welfare. Thus, bewildered by your illusionary energy, he imagines his temporary assets to be permanent. Please repeat. Infatuated with his opulence and ruling power, a king loses all self-restraint and cannot obtain his true welfare. Thus bewildered by your illusionary energy, he imagines his temporary assets to be permanent. Purport. The word unandha indicates that one who is intoxicated by self-pride goes beyond the boundaries of proper behavior. Human life is meant to be governed by dharma, spiritual principles for gradual advancement to the perfection of Krishna consciousness. Blinded by wealth and power, however, a foolish person does not hesitate to act whimsically against the laws of nature and God. Unfortunately, this is now the situation in the prosperous Western countries. Hare Krishna. Today's verse, text 10 from Samambonam, chapter 73. Lord Krishna blesses the liberated kings. So, Lord is blessing the liberated kings. Kings are already liberated, but Lord is blessing. On the way, we have seen that Krishna is there in the assembly, and a messenger comes bringing the message of 2,800 kings. On the other hand, we see Narad Muni also comes to the court and puts both of their messages. The messenger says that the Magar Naresh Jarasandha has captured 2,800 kings and they are asking his refuge, Sharana. And this side, Narad Muni says that Yudhishthira Maharaj is wishing to have Rajasviya Yajna. Down the line, Krishna asked the advice of Uddhava, the great scholar passed out from the University of Brahaspati, that what should we do? And we have also seen in the previous classes that how Krishna asked Uddhava and what was the reason behind Krishna asking that. Because he wanted to glorify his devotee, the advice from Uddhava. After Uddhava's advice, Krishna proceeded immediately with all the outrage with his both the Sarthis, Dalvan and Jaitra, and went to Indraprastha, accepted all the welcoming gestures of his relatives, Pandava and other people there. And he killed Jarasandha with the same strategy what Uddhava advised. After killing Jarasandha, Krishna did Rajya Abhishek for Jarasandha's son Sahadeva, and then he is proceeding towards the imprisoned kings. Now the imprisoned kings, since they were in the prison for a long time, their condition was not so good. But when they saw Lord Krishna, they got energy and they prayed. So this verse is from the kings who have taken the shelter, who had the darshan, and then they are saying this. Now condition of the kings is, they are Kshatriya, they also had opulence, and they were imprisoned. And imprisoned in a way that they were like animals there in the imprisonment. Not proper food, not proper clothing, and their hairs were scattered in the previous verses we have seen. Now, a big chunk of people may say that now what is the difference between Jarasandha and Yudhishthira? Yudhishthira is also doing a yajna to have the uncontested sovereignty in the kingdom there at the present time. And Bechara, Jarasandha, is also doing the same. So why Krishna is supporting Yudhishthira and not Jarasandha? Now this is not dharma. This is the second person point of view. But if we see from the first person point of view, the first person point of view is Jarasandha is also following some rules and regulations. He wanted to give Narbhali, human sacrifice, for a target, whatever the goal, whatever the target. For a target, he is endeavoring. At the same time, Yudhishthira Maharaj is also endeavoring for a goal, for a target. So for a person from outside, when he sees, both are correct. Both are correct. And there may be a discussions, debate, that this is also correct, that is also correct. So at that time, we will see the journey on the purpose of Bhakti Vedanta. And some people may jump up, no, Jarasandha is correct. As we see, because of the social media and because of the influence of secular factor here and there, many people support what it should not be supported on the lines of Bhakti Yoga or on the lines of Shastra. We have to see from the Shastra Shakti. Many times I remember the famous dialogue of Aribhusha Prabhu. He says, don't jump, wait. Okay? So when the contradiction comes, like both the parties are same, or somebody is putting, don't jump, let's wait. Now those people who are supporting Jarasandha, they may say that Veda Pranito Dharma, enacted in the Vedic literature. It is written in the Vedas that if you do human sacrifice or if you do these types of austerities, you get a success. So what is wrong in that? You people are also following Vedas and we are also following Vedas. And they will take out the Vedas and the paragraph, page number, and they will show. It is written in the Vedas. Veda Pranito Dharma. The religious principles are the principles enacted in the Vedic literature. Then on the other side, those people who are against this type of part, they will say that Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now two things comes up. So both are correct from a point of view. They are also following the Vedas as such. And here also, this type of Vaishnavas, they are also saying that Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the purport also we are seeing that human life is meant to govern by Dharma, spiritual principles for gradual advancement in the perfection of Krishna consciousness. So we see here that when we take an admission in some university or some school or some college, it's better to follow that school. It's better to follow that school. It's better to follow the syllabus what they are teaching. Because at the end of the day, the exam what a student is going to write is from the syllabus what the teacher has taught or what the subject he has followed. We cannot say that I am studying in ABC college, but I like the teacher in XYZ school. I like the uniform of that school, that's why although I have taken admission in this school, I'll wear the uniform of that school. Then that is not uniformity. If you like that school, then you should be in that school. And if you don't like that school and if you have done your research and you found that this is very, very suitable to you, then you should take admission in this school and you should follow your teacher, your syllabus, your uniform and whatnot. Many times this happens that, as we were seeing in the last 25 years celebration Silver Jubilee when we have done, we have seen the testimonials and the wordings and valuable advices what our seniors or what our senior devotees have told us. There was a step. It doesn't happen that as such it has happened. And many a times there was a confusion also, what is right and what is wrong. And they have taken the path what Prabhupada was saying, or what their immediate seniors were taking up, and then we are having this place, the beautiful place we have. In the same way, when one person follows the university or the rules of that particular institution, success is guaranteed. Success is definitely guaranteed. In preaching practices also it happens that some neophytes with different ideas they come. And with different ideas they come, and they may superimpose or they may bit restraint at it. Then it depends that how we educate them or how we put into it. Down the line, I also remember, like I also came from a middle class, a lower middle class family, and everything was known, in fact, as the second person says, that Veda Pranihito Dharma. Yes, breaking of the coconut was there in the house, yeah, doing arti, putting tilka, and whatnot. And lot of temples also, anybody has gone. But before proceeding that, let me give a metaphor, we call in English, metaphor or simile. That many times it happens that there would be a small story and then the real essence comes up. Because directly when something is told, we don't understand or it goes up. So suppose if teacher asks, like there are 4 mangoes and 2 mangoes are being eaten, how many are left? Or 4 mangoes are there and 2 mangoes are being given to Rutu, then how many are left? Then Leo will say that Rutu likes mangoes, that's why Gauraranya Prabhu is saying mangoes and he is discriminating with me. But the real thing here is, it's not the question of mangoes or apples, it's the subtle mathematical knowledge what the teacher is giving. So we have a tendency that we float around and we take that mangoes and apples and start quarreling. And we forget that what is the subtle mathematics of the knowledge what the teacher is giving. So here also, please bear with me, when I take names or when I take the examples, it's not the names, it's not the examples, it's the subtle knowledge what we wanted to pass. For example, if it is a plus b whole square, there is a formula. But instead of that, if you put p and q, you will get the same. The pattern is set. That means any person who comes from India or Indian background or Vedic knowledge, he will have that pattern. And if he wants to progress in bhakti, the pattern is also set. Now no need of changing it. As I was saying, like best is to give the example of the person himself. That gives more of personalized and reality, in fact. So when I came to the temple, like I was also new, the different doors and other, and I met the people, and some days passed, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it's a very old story. Many people knows that from car wash to pot wash. But I like the 2 things in the temple which pulled me here itself. First one, definitely this whiteboard. Again, when I say this whiteboard means not this particular whiteboard. The essence behind it, there is a whiteboard. We had a small temple hall. There will be a shloka written on it. Everybody will be reciting it. And that never happens in any other temple, especially for a person who has not gone to any other ISKCON temple. Yes, this was the first ISKCON temple. I have been introduced, or I came with Krishna's mercy. So it was a bit of encouraging or binding factor. First of all, a bit of teacher's mentality, and on top, everybody is getting a chance. Whereas XYZ places, it will not happen. Which caste, which creed, which state, what financial, and blah blah blah. And then you may get a chance or may not. But with the mercy of Prabhupada, we are all given the same opportunity to grow, to prosper, and make others grow and prosper. So this was one thing which pulled me. The second was, it was a meeting. The meeting was led by Rasraj Achyutas Prabhuji. Now, the meeting is nothing, it's a small thing. It's something like October Book Fest. I was a Chota Prabhuji at that time with a t-shirt and jeans only. Okay, not even fully introduced one. And doing some sevas here and there. surely Anand Krishna Prabhu helping him in the kitchen. Those were the days. And that was the first meeting invitation. And when you get a meeting invitation, you will run, you will take a book, you will take a pen, as if big corporates meeting is going to happen. Okay, first invitation, so I also ran and upstairs. Now this is the second factor which is binding. But what happened there in the meeting? The first thing is, everybody came there and they bowed down. They bowed down. Vacha kalptaru sindhuvesa, the whole sloka they said. Everybody sat. Rasraj Babuji is standing. And every member who is attending says one time the Hare Krishna mantra. I said, this is something different. Right? What they preach, they are acting also. I mean, if any meeting is there, so everybody will sit, some of one will take the minutes of the meeting and will finish it off. But here we see that everybody has wished each other, they have sat and they did one mantra one time and the meeting started and result proceeded. So this was the second factor which I liked. When you say that Yukta Vairagya, when you say Yukta Vairagya, in those days the classes were like 1 week Saturday Anand Krishna Prabhu, another week Saturday Rasraj Prabhu. In this way, Naramdal, Garamdal was going and I was the regular attendees of it. And what it was happening, like Yukta Vairagya, I can see that it is being practiced on that. So these were the two factors which pulled and kept me. Okay, some more time. Then, when we are talking about this Veda Pranito Dharma, if somebody passes in your house, you are abstained from not coming into the temple or doing some, keeping yourself away from some spiritual activities as said. So, say about 2016 finished, 2018 around that, my mother passed away and I had to go to India and I came back. When I came back, this was the only place where I used to come. Whether you call socializing or whether you call time pass or whatever you call. So at that time, I entered and Prabhuji was there and that time Damodar Ashtakam celebrations were going on. In every house, Damodar Puja happens. So when this Damodar Puja was happening, he invited, can we come to your house? Then I explained, Prabhuji, this thing happened and I went to Kashi for the funeral ceremony, so we can't. Then he said nothing. In Krishna consciousness, that's fine. And that was the last day. And maybe I was the last devotee where he come into the house. So first Damodar Puja he did in the house and the legacy continued. Now we are seeing that we are not going into this Veda Pranhito Dharma. There is something coming up, Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranita, enacted by the Lord. Now what Lord is acting here? We will see from Prabhupada's point of view. Because we have joined this institute, so we will follow this rather than what it was there generations after generations it came. Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planet cannot ascertain the real religious principle, nor can the demigods or the leaders of Siddhaloka, to say nothing of Asuras, ordinary human beings, or Charnas. That means it is clearly mentioned in the 6th canto itself. It is very difficult to understand what is the real Dharma and how that happens. Then Srila Prabhupada says, Nistraya Guna. That means transcending the 3 modes of material nature. When you transcend the 3 modes of material nature, then you come to the real Dharma, what to be done. Real religious principles are Nistraya Guna, above the 3 modes of material nature, are transcendental one. But the people who are on that Vedic type are following the Vedas, what they say is, they did not know, however, that the Vedic literature contains ritualistic ceremonies that are not transcendental but are meant to keep peace and order among materialistic persons in the material world. So one has to understand that the Vedic ceremonies or rituals, when a person does, what is the essence behind it? The essence behind is to get a peace here, not for the sense gratification as such. Krishna himself says in 2.42 that man of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, as our Jarasandha was doing. Resultant good birth, power, and so forth, being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. The stress here is Nanyad Astiti Vidha. That means they say that there is nothing more than that. They are so adamant on that they will not feel the presence or they will not recognize the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They say that this is only correct. That means a bit of Mayavad and a bit of impersonalism we can see. That's why we say that we should have a Siksha Guru. We should be listening to those who were listening. Okay. We should be listening to those who were listening. Sometimes it has been said that if a train has their engine and various bogies are there, one bogie cannot tell another bogie that I will pull you, unless and until that bogie is attached to the engine. In the same way, sometimes in Hindi they say, Pani piyo janch ke, Guru chuno janch ke. So we have to be very careful. That means Pranavananda Prabhu, who was here, he was also saying, yes, in the association you have to find the association. Okay? You can't go here and there as such. Because Maya is not there outside the gates of 25 Lehan Street. Maya is inside also. So anybody can fall down anywhere. So one has to be very careful when choosing the association as such. The person who was listening, if you listen to him, then you will understand. The person who was not listening, and if you listen to them, then you will not also be listening sometime else. Then we say, Veda Vada Ratha Pratha Nanyad Astiti Veda. So Krishna says in 2.42 that these people say that this is the only way and there is no other way. And they will give you paragraph and the line and pages also. Vedic rituals are intended to elevate one gradually to the transcendental platform of knowing Krishna. And for that Krishna says, Vedaischa sarve aham eva veda. In the second part, when we say how Nishtrai Guna, when we started following, we'll come into that part, that Vedaischa sarvera aham eva vedana. And then we see that it is stated that the real religious principle is that which is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That principle is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman paritajya mamekam sharanam vraja. One should give up all these duties and surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. Now the question comes, when Yudhishthira Maharaj wants to do it, let us see the background of it. What was there in Yudhishthira Maharaj's mind? Because intentions also matters here. It's not only the act what a person is doing, but intentions also matters. The intention was, first Narad Muni, when he comes to Krishna to give this message of Rajasuya Yajna, he says, he has no material opulence for which to aspire, and yet he wants to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. He has no material opulence for which to aspire, and yet he wants to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, only to get your association and to please you. Very important here. Narad Muni, on the behalf of Yudhishthira Maharaj, is saying why he wants to do Rajasuya Yajnas, not for himself. He wants your association. He wants your association and to please you. Whereas we can see opposite to Yudhishthira Maharaj what Jarasandha was thinking on it. He wants to worship you in order to achieve your causeless mercy and to beg and I beg to request you to fulfill his desire. Now, a sincere, pure devotee of Krishna is pleading, is requesting that please, Yudhishthira Maharaj is aspiring your association and mercy. So please fulfill his desire. In the same way, in temple also we see, when a devotee is a bit in distress or back home something wrong is happening, he will tell to senior devotees, our Brahmana, our Pujari, that please pray on behalf of me. Please pray on behalf of me. In the same way, here we see, on the behalf of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Narad Muni is appealing that this is his main intention of doing Rajasuya Yajna, please help him. And in fact, when we see that Krishna and all the family members, when they reach Indraprastha and when they were settled down, so what Yudhishthira Maharaj says is, O Govinda, I desire to worship your auspicious opulent expansion by the Rajasuya sacrifice. The king of Vedic ceremonies, please make our endeavor a success, my lord. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj is praying here to Krishna that please make this ceremony, this Vedic ceremony, a success, and we are doing this for you only. And he continues, therefore, O Lord of Lords, let the people of this world see, this is very important. Therefore, O Lord of Lords, let the people of this world see the power of devotional service rendered to you, your lotus feet. Please show them, O Almighty One, the position of those Kurus and Sranjanyas who worship you and the position of those who do not. So here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is emphasizing on devotional service. Those who do devotional service, those who get the shelter or seek the shelter of his lotus feet, and those who doesn't. So here we see that who was taking the shelter of lotus feet of Krishna and who was not taking. And in that way the demarcation came. But furthermore if we go, we'll see that, okay, this is fine. When Krishna is sitting, Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying this. Maybe he has gone to a very good English medium school, so his vocabulary is good, he is pleasing. Okay, tick. Okay. Narad Muni, he is a good friend of Yudhishthira, so he went and told to Krishna, that's also tick. But why he is doing? Then Yudhishthira Maharaj himself says that my forefathers and the sages around, they wanted me to do this. That means here we are seeing that parampara thing. Our seniors saying, our elders saying, and then the junior or the younger one following it. So Yudhishthira Maharaj's forefathers and sages wanted to have this Rajasuya Yajna, and they did it. That means when Yudhishthira Maharaj is taking an endeavor and want to follow what their forefathers have desired, the sages around has desired, even Supreme Personality of Godhead is blessing them, is cooperating them. In the same way, I remember that in one of the class, Adipurush Prabhu was saying that it is Ramaswamy Maharaj who wanted the expansion of the temple hall. And then after that class, there has happened a meeting with Abhiram Prabhu, and they decided, and the meeting proceeded. And step by step we were going. And how, that's a very beautiful journey which Krishna gave his mercy to be a small part of it. And I was keenly observing on how that part was going on. It is also a part of that 25 years silver jubilee one, because from that room to coming to this room, the geographical distance is this much only. But Abhiram Prabhu knows what was the distance between that to here. Or Adipurush Prabhu knows what's the distance between that room to this room. So the meeting was set, and we were told we are going for fundraising event, and this is going to the project, because some time back it is being told by our seniors within bracket GBC as such. Okay, done. Then simultaneously, parallelly, we started a program called Bhagavad Gita in home, Bhagavad Gita home programs. That means every house we will be going and doing one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So I remember, like every house we go, or whoever was sponsoring or conducting, and in that house we used to have one meeting. And in that meeting, one aspect will be cleared. And that aspect was so micro that everyone was involved in so much into that everyone was giving some idea or another, whichever is as per to their capacity. I remember it was only 230 or maximum $300,000 we were expecting to go for that. But it was Ashok Prabhu's house where Nateshwar Prabhu was there, and he said, why thinking small? Let us think big. It's 1 million. Everybody is told 1 million. So that 1 million dream came from there, or the target, what we can say, came from there. So once the target is set 1 million, then next house where we were going. Then the talking was happening on that, and I had a small part of this catering part, kitchen part. So we were designing what should be the plate, what's the menu. Okay, the menu was Mughlai, Ajipusha Prabhu percolated down. We had quite different items into it. We had naan, we had korma, we had Mughlai biryani, we had shashlik, we have kofta, we had tomato chutney as it. I remember the whole menu. We was fully into it. Now it's Krishna's job, means we have to do. And the slogan which came there was, it was two slogans came. One, Ajipusha Prabhu brought the slogan from previous, his 10-year temple from Malaysia. And another was, that is, in any Vishnu temple when we go down and the line continues. And another was our Vasundhara Mataji, who said that don't ask for one management individual or management of the temple, ask for Krishna. Okay. That was also a big boulder. That ask for Krishna, not for anybody else. So these two were going on. Then came when we were going for different aspects of buying and channelizing it. Then we were going what type of spoon we should be doing, because there were two types of plates we were about to use. The menu is big, and if we give the same menu, same plate to kids, a lot of food wastage will be there. So we decided that the plate will be small for the kids, and that will be upstairs, and downstairs all sitting tabla the whole menu we will give. So for that plates, I was not liking to give the steel spoons. The steel spoon should be for the small one. Now, it's a very micro mundane thing I am seeing, but see the subtle mathematics or the knowledge what I am talking about here. So I gave a call to Agram Prabhu. I said, Prabhuji, the spoons what we are thinking, the embroidery spoon, it will be a bit costly, and also when a spoon is there and there is an embroidery on it, the USPH, United States Public Health, I had experience that microbes and other hygienically it will be discarded, or if inspection down the line happens, it's a problem. So I was saying that we will not go for embroidery one, we will go for the plain one, and I put a financial factor into that, it will be cheaper. Then one more learning there. Aviram Prabhu told, no compromise in Prabhupada's mission. Okay, that's what he has read. But whatever is the best, we will do that. We will not compromise with any of that. And now, even if I am not wrong, the spoons what we are using in restaurant, many people have asked, where do you get this? It's quite a heavy and it's an all-purpose spoon. It's not a soup spoon or this one. It's an all-purpose spoon. You can use it for anything. So down the line that happened. Then it was Rasraj Prabhu's house where second last meeting was there. Yes, no, it was the final meeting. After that, directly into the field. There we were thinking that who will be the person in charge of upper buffet. Okay, down who is there, down the college students will come and we were training them to do it. But upstairs buffet, who will take care of it? Because we want a person who is strict, who says and who will stop it. Because what will happen if the buffet is opened there, then this fundraising thing will collapse. That means everybody will run for prasadam and nobody will contribute to it. So we wanted a strong person. So we were percolating down and then we found that it's a Srinivas Prabhu who can take it up. But we were a bit here and because 3 or 4 people were there who were working with Anand Krishna Prabhu in the Sunday feast and other thing. Anand Krishna Prabhu will stand with the rice and I will be standing at chapati and Padmini Mataji will be giving the plates and Viral Prabhu will be there for dal. This was the constant pattern, and others were there. So these were all 4 or 5 years we were doing that. So I had an eye on Srinivas Prabhu, because he is a man, he will eat only after Anand Krishna Prabhu will eat at 2 o'clock and cleaning happens. Then I said, we need Srinivas Prabhu. But who will get the bell? Because he may accept it or he may not accept. Then the moment we calculated that we want Srinivas Prabhu, Krishna's mercy we saw, he was passing by that door itself. Adipush Prabhu said, call him. And we called, and when Adipush Prabhu says, then who will say no? He said, yes sir, we will do it. So Srinivas Prabhu was taking care of the upper buffet and down. And then the final hammer, if we see, Rasraj Prabhu, when he did this activity, and we found that we have made million, then actually there was a small gap into it. Vijay Keshi Prabhu had to come for that, but because of climate or because of timing of the flights, he could not able to make it. And it was last one message was from Adipush Prabhu: you will don the horse. That was there for Rasraj Prabhu. And Rasraj Prabhu collaborated with Suresh Prabhu, and they made some this thing. And at last minute also Abhiram Prabhu and Rasraj Prabhu were sitting to find out the sitting procedure, where the other people will sit and other. So that thing journey went it. And last Rasraj Prabhu told, Prabhu, how you made it? Like we could able to achieve the target. Then he was saying, throughout the journey, my Gurudev was besides me. Right. So again, learning that when Gurudevs, when seniors' blessings are there, anything and everything is possible unto it. So this is a parampara what we are following, that our seniors, sannyasis, advises us, they make a platform and we follow it and success comes to it. So in that parampara we see that today is Shayana Ekadashi. We also call it as Padma Ekadashi. Shayana means basically bed, sleeping. So they say that Lord Vishnu goes for a sleep now. But it's not like that. Like some days back, behind the kitchen, some sound was coming, and one Mataji was telling Acharya Prabhu, Prabhuji, sorry, no, he is also sleeping now. Acharya Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So Acharya Prabhu was there, and Mataji was washing the utensils, and Lord Chips, the deities, were about to sleep, or he made his night shift done, night sleeping part. So Mataji was saying, Prabhuji, a bit of sound is happening, it will disturb Krishna. I think it's afternoon, Rajbhaga afternoon. What Acharya Prabhu says, no, Krishna is not sleeping, he is lying now. So that's the bhava. That's the bhava. Yes, we are so lucky that we have now the pujaris like Partha Prabhu. We can learn the various, the pronunciation what he makes. Our Acharya Prabhu, nice musician in the evening, so nicely does. We recently had our Madhava's concert. We can see this side Yashoda Sakhi Mataji, Sheri Mataji, this side Acharya Prabhu, Shyam Prabhu, and so much of, in fact, Kirtan Prabhu, so much of talent. Every month ending we are having a Kirtan Mela. It's a full packed one. Everybody has their part in that prasadam, we can say, whatever they relish. Even we had that Ahmedabad flight crash. I was concerned how the Kirtan will go on. But we have experts, Kirtan Prabhu, Acharya Prabhu, they know what melody should go. It's not that jumping, humping, because the purpose of that Kirtan was different, the mood was different. They nicely went it up. And we closed at 8:30 and we proceeded like that. So beautiful things are happening, and since it's a Shayana Ekadasi, we'll do it in that mood. And just one more minute I'll take, but we should know why we are doing this Ekadashi. Ekadashi means definitely it's Inva Morio and other parts, not the grains. We will not touch that. And also Upavas means near to the Lord, not to Upavas, to be near, taking his name only. But a small story behind that. Story means why we are doing this is, there was a king called Mandata, from Raghuvamsha, Mandata. Mandata was a nice virtuous king, and he found that there is a drought, and from 3 years there is no rain. The people around were distressed, So we may think that 3 years no rain, what's the big deal? Okay, we can buy vegetables and fruits from Coles, but no, in those days, something wrong. 3 years no rain. Okay, at the time when the rain should happen rain. When it should be summer, it should be summer. But 3 years there was no. So they were distressed and they went to King Mandata and said, "My lord, what shall we do? From 3 years there is no rain, nothing to eat." Then Mandata stood from his throne, and he knows that if such things are happening, it's the king. It is the king who is doing something wrong. That's why it is happening. Or in the kingdom, something is wrong happening. That's why this is happening. I remember when I was reading this particular anecdote in one of the class, Adi Pushpa was saying, the temple granary is full, means the temple is prospering. In fact, it is prospering only. We have enough granary arranged by Hemant Prabhu and party. So we are on the right path. But at the same time, when it is being told that because of this rain, this is not happening, Mandata stood from his throne and said, "Something wrong I am doing, that's why it is happening." And he goes to the various sages, but he did not get any particular answer as such. But when he reached Angira Muni, the son of Brahmaji, Angira Muni said that in your kingdom, one unqualified person is doing austerities. For that reason it is happening, so please give punishment to him. But Mandata doesn't want to give any punishment, but he asked, "Give me an alternative solution. Give me an alternative solution. Because he is doing his austerity, why should we do it?" So Angira Muni says that then you do Shayana Ekadashi Vrata. That means today's Vrata, Shayana Ekadashi Vrata you do. So Mandata with his whole family, he does Shayana Ekadashi Vrata, and the rains were normal, we were getting. But again, don't carry away by this story that if you do this Vrata and you will get grains in your house and the house will be full of greenery. No, no. Our purpose is Dharman tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranana. And at last Krishna says, "Sarva Dharman Paritajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Maya." So that is what our philosophy, or that is what our parampara teaches, rather than any material benefits. So here we'll take a small break. I repeat today's sloka and we'll open for question, answers and comment session. Rajaishwarya mandondo nasheyo vindate nrapam Tvam maya mohito nityam manyate sampado chalam. Any comments or questions? Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you so much for the class and happy Ekadashi to all. Tell me, what's the problem like when that unqualified person was performing austerities? What's the problem with that? Like,
I was knowing this part will come up.
You didn't get the question.
Some person in the kingdom was doing austerities who was not qualified. That's why those problems were happening. Yeah, here two parts we can see, Mataji. Same thing happened in Sri Ram's kingdom also, because a lot of secular people are people from different religions, are people who say themselves as liberated, liberals, not liberated, liberals. They talk about it. Your Sri Rama has hung that guy, I mean he beheaded, and how can he be a king? So here for us it's definitely a knowledge. We can say that Mandata did not do that because Mandata is a king and he did not. Whereas Sri Rama, when he did, we have seen in many of the classes we heard from senior speakers that since it has happened with Sri Ram, whatever he was desiring, he got it. He got the liberation. But here Mandata, I purposefully said unqualified, but he was a Shudra. He was a Shudra, and at the time these people were not allowed to do this type of activities. And since he was doing these types of austerities, so these calamities were there. Angira Muni gave both the options. First he said that you punish him, but Mandata didn't agree for it, and he asked the alternative one. And for that alternative, this Shayana Ekadashi was. Any other question or comment? Yes.
When you said rainfall lands should also Maya is there, when Krishna is present, Krishna's Maya will not be present. Like 25 state lordships are there, then Maya shouldn't be there. Right? Are we not seeing Krishna, or how is that possible that Maya is there in the temple as well when it should not be?
We have examples, it's not that we don't have, and there are many examples. Maya means that which is not there. It's an illusion. It's an illusion, and the purport says that because of the illusion, they get their pride and they lose everything. And who are saying this? Kings are saying, those who were imprisoned, they themselves are saying, because of our pride, because of our opulences, because of this, we have fallen down. So when I hear from senior speakers, they say even in the temple there is Maya. What does that mean is, Prabhuji, what nice papad you make. Case. Oh Prabhuji, what nice clothing, how nice you sing. Case. That means what? The pride when it comes and say, yes Prabhuji, I took a classes in so and so, that's why I sing so nice. That means done. Case. So when we say Maya is there, that means pride is there. When pride is there, definitely fall down is there. So I am the best speaker and I give very nice classes. Next day I will not have anything to speak also. Okay? That's his mercy. Then you will understand. As Rasaj Prabhu yesterday he was saying that that Brahmana that king, he was so much pride that I have got Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. He has a disciple and he was given a lot of responsibilities, services, and he got a pride. And when he got a pride in the temple itself, then Maharaj told that I have a very good service for you. You clean all the toilets and wash the clothing of all the brahmacharis. And first he was a bit reluctant, but when he did it, he realized what he got. So in the same way, in the temple also that Maya is there. Maya will be there. That I am so and so, I have a Brahminical thread on the upper body of mine, so that gives the pride, prestige and power. But actually that is not. The Brahminical thread on the upper body of a person is the remembrance. When we see in the mirror, it's a remembrance that you have surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the lines of Prabhupada, on the lines of your Gurudev, you are going to work on it. So that's why it says that be careful that everywhere that Maya is there, anytime you can sleep. Or in the words of Prabhupada when we say that I am only afraid that my disciples are not aware of Maya, are not afraid of Maya. So in that lines we say that we have to be careful in and out of 25 Lian Street. Any other question? Close. Grandra